This is Justin AMZN on Wednesday, May 9th, 2018. And you might be wondering, what is that? Excuse me. So I was just kind of things that you focus on or notice in a chart. In this case, was seeing a little bit of a curvature here, almost like, I think it's called like a cup and handle, where you have kind of a dip, and then it comes back up, and then puts in a little bit of a flag, and then what happens after that. Usually that kind of pattern breaks out. With the way that this rallied after hours and the pre-market, looks like, okay, maybe it could be rallying. We're still underneath this resistance, and this is a new line I drew in, 1607. Had some touches, support down here that we kind of pulled back to after earnings, pre-market, and then came down to, tried to pause at, and then just failed. And then we got back up to it yesterday, and almost to it pre-market. And then the other line I've got in here is this line that has some touches here, a high, really going off of this pivot. Even though there's this curvature along the bottom, it rallied from the bottom of that way back up here to the high, taking out, everyone had sold down through there, back up to here, and then came down again, pushed a little bit lower, did this kind of triple bottom thing, came back up into it. Just looking at, okay, if you drew a curve in here instead of a straight line, what could that look like? And it's a pretty good fit, actually, to see this kind of an oval drawn in. So I don't really look at things this much further back, but once in a while, when there's not as much happening. So I'll take that off, but I did want to leave these two lines on because they're relevant. The last 2 days in here, touch up here, touch down here. Didn't quite get up to it, but we're close here. Maybe we'll get up to it again today. But most of yesterday being below that line and then closing above and then seeing the rally up in here. See if we're somewhat range bound in this and continue sideways. So this is kind of the framework I'm starting today's candle and today's move with, to see, okay, will we play in this range? Is this really a good range to be looking at? They're newer lines, but there's there's some prices that are relevant to how it's moving through here. So first thing, looking at like this, the first thing I'll show you is that we had that downtrend channel here to here that we're definitely not contained by anymore. Even this chopping around, there was a bit of some buying up in here that got out of it. There was some wicks and things that got out below, but for the most part, we were in this channel. We're definitely out of it. We're above that channel, so it definitely allows for an opportunity to go higher, to continue moving sideways, not necessarily rally out, but just move sideways now instead of this downtrending. What's also interesting is if we open up here, we've actually taken out yesterday's high, and yesterday was a bearish candle, and so we can see that we actually have a bullish gap up from a bearish candle, which makes it a bullish gap and go. Now we're still range bound on the previous day for this open price, but we'll really see what price we open at and what it could mean for a little bit of a larger move, because some people who were buying yesterday or were selling yesterday are definitely trapped. So we step into the day and we get a candle with a large lower wick and some upper body here that's kind of coming down close to yesterday's highs during the day here, kind of retesting that level to see, okay, are we going to hold that? This was resistance here, now it's new support, so that's around 1596. So from there, we had that as support here, broke through it, stayed below it, so now it's we're retesting it like this level here of support. It's actually really close to that, 1596 16 and 1596.33. Yeah, I mean, it's really close to the level we're at a few days ago, or 2 days ago, Monday. So that's just a single candle. If you look at this as a move, as if we were during the day, it's just low in volume, but you get a flag, and then some selling comes in, buy that back up. This could actually be this kind of pattern. This could have been a place to buy down at some of these supports in here, just based on pre-market, not even looking at other days, and look for, you know, retest down to this level or this level, something to pull back and then buy. So see what happens in the next candle. See if we come back down to that, or see if we push up maybe to the 1607. Okay, get close to it. A large selling candle. So buying candle, selling. You know, it's looking similar to if you kind of scrunch these two candles together. You know, we got close to this level here. We come back down, and the low is, you know, we're a little bit lower than the low in this candle, but the wick is actually pretty spot on. So the wick down here. So if you merge maybe the three candles, you get the low wick here, just a little more buying from 2 days ago. But, you know, similar range. So let's see what happens. Okay, another candle similar to the open candle, just a little lower, kind of inside. All right, now here's some candles that are starting to move a little bit lower. We've got the bearish momentum forming with a squeeze. Let's see what that does. Okay, now we've taken out the low. And so, you know, you're hopefully not getting in this candle with a stop way up here. I mean, that's barely a 1-to-1 to this brand new line. But that'd be a good place for it to pause and retest some of these values and see, okay, is it going to hold there or not? So see if we get a smaller candle. That's not smaller. Okay, that rallies back up. If you had gotten in here, I mean, you're almost down a full R, you know, right here. So we'll see what happens. Okay, now we get a little consolidation, moving sideways some more. Okay, it's rolling over. So now, you know, if your stop was here, you move it down a little bit to here, looking for a continuation further down. You really wish that instead of getting in on the breakdown, you waited for a retest, looking for it to roll back down. And this would be an aggressive trade to do this. So we did have that squeeze fire bearish, but didn't actually do anything. Now we're losing bearish momentum, still forming the squeeze. And okay, we come a little further here. We're at relative lows. We got an inside candle. Let's see, a little bit higher. All right, starting to roll down again. There you go. So this smaller candle, we're already in the mindset of rolling down. We'll see, you know, okay, we're into the high of this candle and these. So this could be a new support, or we come down to here and see if, you know, the levels will that we're supporting in. So for these two candles that were bought down here, I mean, the open of this one was 1592.30. So, you know, it happened to have some bearish momentum, selling it down to this. But, you know, the prices are similar here and here. So, see what happens. And come down a little further. But what's interesting about that, it's very indecisive candle, indecision candle. High, upper, well, not high, but the body's right in the middle. You got some buying, you got some selling on either end. And we're not quite down to this level. If this is a good reversal candle, a potential pause, it's right at, you know, known, right above a known support here. You know, so maybe you got to stop down at like 1590, but you're going to get in up here. If it gets above 1595, that's, you know, a $5 risk. But taking that bearish from here really wouldn't be too much. So give a little bit of room. You know, even if it does something that pushes through, chops around a little bit, then goes up, you know, you may need a little bit more room. But you know, if we go off that $5 risk, the next candle triggers you in. Okay, so you're in here, going bullish. You're below, you know, this line, these wicks. This could just be a retest. It could actually roll back down. Bearish momentum, but it kind of rallies up a little bit and just kind of grinds higher. So this is not what you want to see if you're bearish, but it's just kind of grinding, just kind of pausing. You want to do something where you are tightening up your stop, and if you're not bearish, but if you're bullish, you know, if it's in your plan to tighten your stop up to here. If we've got lower 2 cents off, wait a minute, 2 cents off of the lower a tweezer bottom on those. So that's a good place for a stop, 1594. So you lock in a small loss, which is still good. Okay, now we're moving up, come back down a little bit. All this just chopped around, a retest back to right around the high of this candle, or the open of this candle, which is a strong candle in the day. One of the larger ones, you know, the largest recently, but one of the larger compared to earlier open. Sorry, compared to the earlier open. So right now it's just going up. There you go. Moves way up here. Now you're really close to the resistance here. It'd be great to come up to 1607 and touch that. Since we didn't quite get down to this one, it looks a little more bullish than bearish. We didn't get down to a resistance, but you know, not up at resistance either. So or support resistance. Sorry. So anyway, there you go. Chopping around, chopping around. Okay, come back a little bit. Now definitely get your stop moved up from what was it, here to here, doing this, and now even up to 1600. So you lock in an R if you get stopped out, and just some intuition to know where you should place it, but also some study of what you're doing. Like some things where if you're looking to buy off of a low, and you got to stop a few dollars away or something, you could get wicked out on something like this, where it looks like it's major selling's coming in, then it pauses, comes back up, and it just continues up. And it's like, oh, I just had it too tight. It's just too hard to have all those figured out and plan. So I'm looking for it to come up to 1607, but okay, now it's getting a little bit higher. It's higher highs. This starts to look like on shoulders, or at least a triple top. And so you want to keep your stop tight up here, up to here, now up to here, 1602. Lock in a little bit more. We got the squeeze forming, and okay, we got these two candles that are some indecisive candles right on support. This is a similar situation where we had some indecision right here and didn't quite make it, but we were a little bit extended. Right now we're tight, we're consolidated, and it could push up, it could roll back down. You got a bit of a triangle here with the highs, and then an up angle with the lows. And then you're going to throw some lower wick. Oh, it's coming back down a little bit. Okay, so this is a much shallower triangle here and a flatter triangle here still. And it looks like it could do a triple top. A triple top that it could just break down below this, or it could come down, retest back up to the lows, and then roll over. But for right now, we're kind of bullish with this gap and a retest and how this is moving. It's just this is such a large move of the day. This is pausing for that kind of move on the day, and it's good that it does that. All right, broke out of 1607. That's great. Right at the close too. So yesterday's close rallied and pushed us through this new 1592 price, and now this one has pushed us through the 1607 price. So if we take a step back out and see what we've got here, got some consolidation right on the line. It would be great to get some selling candles to come in at the open, and then to just rip higher and move up. If it's a retest down into this or retest into these lows, it's possible it could pull back a little bit more, but it's also possible that it could just rally. So this is the daily, and I have to zoom in again. There you go. So this is the daily bullish and go, bullish gap and go, and our new lines are in here for what those prices are. This is not far to go to get up to what's in the what was the old high, the all-time high. We're actually right below the previous all-time high, the 1617 price. So this isn't too far to go. So that's just another $9 to get there. So anyway, a great move here where we had sort of an S curve where it gapped up, curved back down. Now we're just kind of grinding higher, and it could continue to do that. So come back in here and look at. I really like the idea of buying off of that candle. That's set up. So if you were buying above the high, so let's go look at the high of the call on this. And I missed the time. What did it say? 9:55. Okay, so if you go to 9:55 on the call, that's that candle. You could have bought that candle for $8.50 with a stop at $7.50, and that's your setup. That's $100, and then just hold on for the ride as it moved up from $8.50 up to, let's say, $13.50. Somewhere in here is where you got out, and you lost a little bit. Then it came back up. Probably got out on one of these, and then it came back down again. You're like, oh, I should be buying down here, and then it goes right back up and comes down. I mean, that happened from this area like once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then the sell-off from here was 1, 2, 3, 4 if you count over here. But just the way that things move and being able to take advantage of either direction. So it's just really interesting when you get a small candle on the option, a small candle on the AMZN chart, what you can actually do with that. And because we're so close to resistance, I mean, the stop could have been a little further away, which would have meant trying a different strike a little further away, or just knowing you could get stepped out. So sorry, I forgot what I was going to say there. Anyway, this is a good move. Good rally out of that. Some folks could have made some R's if you're tracking and looking for small candles. Got a bunch of small candles in here that just continue to grind higher, and then a retest, and then a grind higher again. So getting a little more movement that can be identified. Now, if we look at the previous day, I was just following that channel down so much. Now it's actually found some rules again that it's like, okay, got some small candles. Let's get going bullish after that because we're in a bullish gap and go mindset. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Checking out some of the options along with the stock. This is Justin AMZN.